It was so nice. Really, really nice. How was your? Do you guys do Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we did a small dinner.
Oh,
It was good. Nice weather too.
Yeah, totally.
What are you working on tonight? It's a cloud.
Made some pies.
I saw this cloud on there.
What kind of pies?
Apple and pumpkin.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah, we had some good store-bought ones. But yeah, the homemade is so good. Do you guys have apple trees? My mom always does like apple crumble from the trees.
Our neighbor has a tree.
Yeah.
But we found some apples on the Walmart like clearance rack that like you probably wouldn't want to just chomp on them, but they're like
they're perfect for baking.
Pie.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, well, they're cheap. Might as well make a couple of pies.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's the way to go for pies. That's awesome. Oh, that is so nice. Okay. We are live to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm just gonna hit share. And then I will get us started. So it's like too relaxed if I'm sitting down here and just. So we just left the tables as they were, but people can move stuff around if they want. We'll start out with the land acknowledgement on this Rumble 595. That's pretty fun. The Creator gifted us with this land that we're blessed to share and care for together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on, Mohkinstsis, is the ancestral territory of the Siksika Sitapi, the Siksika, the Kainai, the Piikani, and the Amskapi Piikani. We acknowledge all First Nations and Métis of Treaty 7 lands, the Tsuut'ina, the Itkabi, which includes Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Goodstoney. We commit to advancing reconciliation, guided by truths, respecting treaty laws, and humbly walking alongside First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. So this is Rumble 595. We have gotten together 595 times. Wow. It is pretty amazing that we're still here. And so that's something. Okay? So just gonna spin the wheel. Is there 10 left? Oh my gosh. Okay. Can't do it. So I got a new book, so I'm probably gonna make it fall on that. First Face Inspiration. It's called Into the Uncut Grass by Trevor Noah. So he first wrote a really beautiful autobiography about him and his life. And this is hi Hugo. Good, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. And this is a children's story that Trevor Noah put out and illustrated by Sabina Hahn. But the boy held the bear's hand tighter and pressed on, following the sounds of voices down the trail, around a tall apple tree where they saw two snails with large colorful shells. One shell was striped in brilliant red, and the other was marked in a bright pink spiral. The two snails were in the middle of a great debate. Oh my goodness. There's two snails and they have top hats on their shells. So this, I haven't read the whole book yet. I've just looked at the pictures, but it's all about conflict. And I think it's the idea of conflict and interdependence and kindness, all of these things wrapped together. So I will read this further, but for right now, we got two snails in a great debate, and it's very cute. There's top hats involved. Look how they put it on the shell. And then, because we like the story of falling into the the story of going down into the underworld. That's always a journey.
Oh, we got the brand up wrong.
Oh, everything will be.
Is it?
I'll make sure to do it better. The auction is there. Hold on. So here we go. Oh my gosh. It's a crazy picture. Yeah! This picture is of a dragon, a 6-foot serpent attacking Agnolo Brunelleschi. So it's by Dante, and I don't even know if it was used in the Inferno. I'll show the people at home. I'll show the people here. I feel like the first one was like a very calm idea of a debate and like conflict resolution. And this one has a snake biting a guy's head off. It's very different. Oh, this is nice. Just for some contrast. Oh, maybe that's not contrast at all. The circle of the lustful. Look, there's these people and they're just spiraling. It's one of the circles of hell. Let's stick with the serpent biting the head off. Hi, how are you?
Welcome home.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Look, this one has a lot of good pictures today.
I missed the theme.
Oh, we're in the midst of it.
Oh, you're
Look, the
figuring
first
it out.
one is very cute. Hi, Calvin, how are you? The first one is this one.
It's on that shelf there.
And then the second one is a guy getting his head bitten off. And so it's like cute snails and then
It
dragons,
is spooky.
right?
I think because I had this thought, I saw your picture on your Facebook somewhere.
Yeah.
A long time ago. I was on a feet that and grabbed it. Did I contact you and ask you for permission? I can't remember.
You did.
Yeah.
Well,
And then I just
No,
didn't get
no,
around to it. It was on my
no.
desktop for so long that I painted it from memory.
oh my God.
Not even looking at it. I just like whipped it
Yeah.
off. And,
Can I shake your hand or are you in the middle of something?
yeah,
Or-
left hand.
Well, I was also reading. Ah, oh no. Sorry.
So I haven't met your dad. I hope I got like close enough to a likeness. It's
No, 100%.
yeah,
And
kind of tiny pictures. It's crazy how sometimes.
the last one, they all go
We
well
passed,
together
like,
again.
5-6 years ago. So.
Halloween
Yeah, this
circus.
is-
Oh, maybe that's when you put it up. Right?
That's
That's
right.
There's
right.
lots
I want to share this with
Great
my family.
pictures
They really like this.
Yeah, it's all
Thanks,
like
Rich. I appreciate it.
freaky.
You know what? The picture just called to me. So it was like I
Today
saw that.
we're
photo
going
and I
with
thought,
two
I
snails
gotta
in a
paint it.
debate.
I have no
Hats.
that feeling.
We
I
have
really liked it.
a 6-foot
I
serpent
love it.
eating a guy's head.
I don't
And
feel
we
bad that it
have,
took so long because
A Halloween
quite
circus.
honestly,
So lots of fun stuff.
I'd meant to go find
With
it,
us
and I
today,
just
we
sort of
have
painted it,
Justin,
and it's just
we
been
have
on my-
Zach,
like on my
Studio,
desktop, I
we
got
have
these random
Rich and I.
icons.
We'll be
And
making
the one that
artwork,
I
so
like
feel
would like, oh, is
free.
it this one?
to,
I must have left it open like
message
50
us
times.
with
Like,
any
I gotta print that
questions
off
you
and have
have.
it painted at some point.
Thank you.
So I'm actually
Hello.
pretty impressed with my memory when I checked it after I did.
Yeah.
It's pretty bang on.
No, absolutely.
It's more of a warm up than anything.
I think I'm older than he was in this picture now.
That's wild, eh? I don't know.
That's cool.
All right, I have to run. But
Yeah.
Thank you again.
It's
Jess,
really
have a good
nice
weekend.
seeing you.
Kids are
Yeah.
Amazing. Cheers.
Take
See you
care,
guys.
Calvin. Here, we could even leave them if people are curious, and then it's nice so then people can see them. Yeah. This one, the Halloween circus, and then this one. Very sweet. It goes like cutesy and then scary.
I think I'm gonna go for cute.
I like that. I like the idea of the snails in a debate.
That would be very slow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Take your time.
Like no stress. Everyone gets to have their conversation, say their side. How was the beginning of your week, Ayuko?
It was pretty good. I'm just like in the process of packing and moving, so going back to my old little place and put up all my junk.
Oh,
And then loads of stuff went to donation.
that's actually a pretty nice feeling
It's
to.
nice.
Yeah.
Yep. No, thank you.
You guys doing any sugar?
No, but I want the skull cookie forever.
The school cookie?
How long will it stay for?
You can
Can I
know,
take a picture of it? I just want to take a picture. I might eat this.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
good.
gonna
Should we
eat
share
this.
that
I'm
one?
gonna
Or
eat it.
yeah, you're gonna eat it. Here, I'll have it.
I say I wanted to eat half?
If you see Christ, you
No, Jess, gonna have half. I was kidding.
Jeez, so close.
Yeah, come
Oh,
on.
that's an apple. It's a poison
It's a
apple.
poison apple, yeah.
That
Okay,
is.
get your own apple.
Get your own apple.
Here. Is it okay?
Yeah,
These are brought them to share.
Thanks, Amanda.
That's what I spent my afternoon doing.
That's fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm just not interested.
It's all good.
Thank you.
They're sugar cookies. I think they got some sugar.
Mm-hmm.
You should have shared it because I loved the first bite.
Mm-hmm.
Second bite, I'm like, that's gonna make me ask weird.
On the yellow one.
And I'm not complaining.
No, it's just so true how you get hypersensitive to stuff.
How about you guys? You guys have a good week? So far?
It's going pretty good.
Good. I almost forgot today was Wednesday. Like,
I know, because the
It
Monday was
happens
the
a lot.
holiday.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens a lot when we have the trigger drawing too, that like people aren't used to coming, or not trigger drawing, the Thanksgiving, people aren't
Yeah.
used to coming twice in a week, so.
yeah. So like, wait a minute, because I was like kind of decluttering for my old place till about like almost 5. Like, oh, I better go home and feed my dog. And then I was like messing around with her, having fun with her, and like, oh my god, it's like 6:43. Wait, I gotta go. So bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Made it perfect.
well, a little bit better. That's okay. Nobody's giving me problems.
No.
Now it's Halloween coming up. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Felix is turning 12 on Saturday. So it's his birthday this weekend.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys doing?
We get to see him on Friday, and then he's having his friend get together on Saturday
Oh,
on
nice.
his birthdays.
Who does he want to hang out with his friends?
Totally.
Well, yeah, so, we don't always get the holidays. His biological mom often gets the actual holidays, so we get like the other days,
Mm,
but,
That's okay. You can make it as special.
I did get him a new sword.
I'm trying to tape it so I don't make a mess on the desk. Paint your desk as well.
Focus.
Bears just end up getting.
So will they like any?
I'm gonna switch this. I'm gonna go into this.
Ow!
What'd you do?
I just poked myself. Sometimes I expect it. Sometimes I do not.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
It is true. Most of the time, I feel like it.
Most of the time.
What are you looking at? Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, this is my pigeon, and I'm sewing it on the back of my my cloak, and so I'm gonna have. I want to do more of like this, like the 20 pointed stars around it, so it looks like really like celestial.
Yeah, I want to like have a cloak, but I can never find a cloak that will fit because it's so short.
Oh yeah, this is my mom's from like when she did this like really fancy Hungarian ball, and it's like it was very fancy. And I never really. This is my mom's from. So then I'm kind of altering it, and so I have like the inside part that's like a darker brown because it's like right now it's like the silver. I never really had this. This is my mom's from. And I'm kind of like dainty, too fancy,
Yeah.
and so I want to make it get the grunge going, like get the. I got this really nice ribbon to put around the front to add like more, so it's like more brown and blue neck. So it'll be, and I have like toggle latches to put on because it was really fancy like there. But I think I'm gonna do like this along the front and then the brown inside and then have the toggle. I think it'll
that'll
be
be
really,
lovely.
yeah, it's really
Yeah,
fun.
love to see.
Yeah.
How long?
Oh, well, actually, it depends because I want to get all the embroidery done first, and then because the inside's made, so then I just have to sew it all together. So it's like the embroidery. I want to do some stars around this, so it's not just the pigeon. But this is taking the longest. I was like thinking about it. I was going to do all of this blue, but it takes so long that I was like, well, I did the outline, then I'm stitching it on, and I can still do the inside,
Yeah.
because it would look more powerful. But
Yeah, but you can also do the blue outline.
yeah, exactly.
You don't have to do
The whole
the
thing.
whole thing,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that would look like it's like a sunlight, you know.
I do like having the light. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it looks like a starburst.
Yeah.
Like then you have the gold.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries. I like a little bit shortcut because when I do make work on a project,
Yeah.
if I feel that is too overwhelming, I'll be like, okay, it's gonna take me 2,000 years.
And then
I
I
don't have
stop
that long.
working completely.
Yeah, I would
totally.
just leave it alone. It's like,
I agree.
yeah, I don't want to end up doing that.
Make
Yeah.
it doable, so
Yeah.
at least you can like get to the fun part.
Yeah, for sure.
Not me.
I would.
Yeah, but everything goes faster for you. Yeah.
I'm just gonna sleep by. Then I'm gonna sleep by you. If you like.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Are you okay?
Am I okay?
Yeah.
I am great. How do I do this? One. Mic is on. Can you hear me now? Looks like your mic's unplugged. Default. Mic. Default. That's weird. Is that unplugged? Is that unplugged? Come on, you. Can you check that plug there?
Yeah.
Is the light on?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Come on. You.
It's on now. This is.
That mic is plugged into this computer.
I know, but I was reading the comments.
It's not, but it's not the right mic. It's just the default. It's a trick.
It's a trap.
Can you tell me why the mic's not working?
People.
No, I'm asking you to tell
Me?
me why that mic's. Did you try that plug, please?
Out and put back in.
System all fit function. What now? Oh, no. No.
Well, I don't think.
There's no excuse for that. Okay, that mic's not working. I need you to help me.
At all? I think.
Like there's sound on, but the mic that I want to work,
Work is it?
the Yeti's
Do you
not
want me to
working.
run to get the other Yeti?
No, I want the Yeti to work.
Just want that one.
Do you remember I was looking for a cable for like 10 minutes?
Yeah, do you want me to keep looking?
I need a cable. Take a look at what kind of cable I need.
It's a little compact. It's
Yeah.
just like the snail's had.
Here, no, that won't work. Here, no, that won't work. I don't know where it went. It's magic. Okay, just leave it. I'm not gonna worry about it. It might be a problem during the auction later.
Look, it's right here.
Okay,
Do you want me to pull
yeah,
it?
switch that out with this one.
I have to do some
Finagling,
shimmying.
shenanigans, as Donna would say.
Shimmy. Shimmy, cocoa puff. Right?
Super important you don't bump into any of those other cables
I know,
that
I'm
you're
going-
leaning over.
I'm going very
That's
careful.
such a good stomach. Okay. Yeah, just whip that out. Whip it out.
There, that's for you. This is softer. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
So I was like, no, you are fine. It's last one.
I'm gonna have a tantrum. No, it did not. The light's coming on, isn't it? Am I correct about that?
the lights? Yeah, the lights on.
So that's the iPhone default. MacBook Pro. Gonna lose my mind. Gonna lose my mind. Gonna lose my mind. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out.
What else can I do?
Michelle.
Can I look for another cable?
No, I think if the cable did. Oh, there it is. It's working now.
Yay!
Can anybody tell me if I'm correct that the sound just got better? Because I think it must have, but maybe it didn't. If it got worse, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm losing my. No, you lie to me.
They're like,
Just
no,
tell
it
him what he
didn't,
wants to
it
hear.
didn't get worse at all. Everything's fine.
Mhm.
Hey, how are you guys? Good. So when do you want to keep the door open till? Because it's pretty cold in here.
Now that Caitlin's here, let's close the door.
Now that Galen's here, we can close the door.
close it up? I'll close it.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't bring pizza, sorry.
Kid, we like hanging out with you guys, not it's like
Yeah.
that's not the thing. There's tea there. I boiled water. If you would like tea. Have a seat at the long
Here, I
table.
can put that.
Just put it back behind you. There. It sort of pins behind the two pieces of wood there.
There's like a cookie.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I like that one. That's
They're
awesome.
so cute.
Anyway, no thanks.
Yeah, I want some cheesy puffs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to cut down.
On
Watching it
cookies.
bigger. Watching it get bigger.
I have a cookie.
What did I just do?
You.
I was too intrigued with the conversation. I looked a different direction. I did something weird.
Oh, I said
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh, now what? Tell just how many years of teaching you got left.
Oh, I don't want to hear it. Less than a
One.
year. Gosh.
Next week, 1 year.
That is very exciting, Caleb.
It's exciting, but I still don't know if I can actually retire.
Well,
see.
you know what? The thing about, like, once you hit that, then it's just all gravy.
It's not that much gravy.
It's made,
I mean, you just,
the idea has made it easier to teach.
yeah, that's what I mean.
The idea that there could be like light. Of course,
There's
then
an
again,
inside.
when you say that for a teacher, that's not good. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Here's a question.
I feel like we do a hard job, and you're doing a good
Are you
job.
doing wrestling this year?
Nope.
Oh, who is?
Nope.
Oh, no wrestling.
I'm not coaching anything this year. I'm sticking to my guns. And you know what? It's made a big difference. I finished all my LSPs today.
Right. That's kind of the thing that drives me about having to coach is that, like, you're going to take on this extra responsibility. And at no point where anybody appreciate what you've done, they'll sort of give you a superficial, like, thanks at a staff meeting, but that's about it. But if anything goes wrong, you've just doubled your opportunities for things to go wrong.
Yep.
So, for instance, I found out last minute that there wasn't a digital meeting. I only thought there's a digital meeting because the person that told me about the meeting said there's a digital meeting. And I'm not mad about that. It's just like, okay, so where's the digital link? It's like, oh, there isn't one. It's like, So I couldn't get to St. Stephen's for 4 o'clock.
Also, it's not like central. St. Stephen's is not central.
No.
Sure, but it's not even the issue. Like, I would have made arrangements with my in-laws for you to get home, right?
Right.
Don't talk to me about recycling if you want me to have a separate vehicle so that I can get to meetings.
Mhm.
But yeah, then you end up feeling like a goof because you can't make their meeting. It's the same meeting we've had for 12 years. Like,
Mhm.
what's
The
gonna be
choice to
the-
not feel like a goof because it's not you making the
I'm just
mistakes.
gonna try to like
But I mean, all that is like stress that I don't even have to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that totally affects.
It'd take
your
way longer than a
everyday,
year to
right?
fire you if you really screw up.
So my biggest stress is like, I feel bad about it, but I'll get over that.
Yeah, no.
I can't get accused of being a racist when I don't coach somebody. Stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
That
All of the
basically
stressors.
finished me last year. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
I'm done.
I think Michael's the
I'm not sure where to go with this, Jesse. Come on. I saw a cloud and it looked like a lady lying down, and I thought it'd make a nice drawing. And now either they could become mountains,
Oh.
or I could just keep piling up bodies. What do you find more interesting?
There is a comet in the sky,
It just more like
which
What
could be very long hair.
and it was just
What do
more
I
the
like
same
better?
way as like
Oh my gosh,
consistency.
Rich, it's very meta.
Because some of
What?
them
What if
would
those
be,
became the mountains and then you went on to make more bodies in the sky that were the clouds that inspired you to be the bodies?
Tight.
yeah, like tight as a beach.
It kinda goes.
Huh?
I hear you. I don't hate it.
Look, there goes something. Yeah, so.
Where'd they all come from?
Well, Galen, when a man really loves a woman,
Little man.
sometimes they have feelings.
Yeah.
And these feelings are natural.
Tingly feelings?
Nothing to be scared of.
Tingly.
And what happens is,
Just two water
when the daddy really, really loves the mom,
So I like it
he will take his
a little bit more
penis.
dense.
Is what?
Penis.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
He will insert it into her vagina.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
Just
I want-
miracle of life will happen.
Sometimes.
And then the bodies come later.
And the bills.
Well, sometimes it's a two.
That's how it happened. Thank you. I thought it was just an accident.
Sometimes it's
No
scientists.
reaction. Just too busy talking.
It's for the best.
Oh, you knew I was talking about you. I'm sorry. I
Are you
didn't
raised in a barn, Galen?
Am I supposed to do two conversations?
No, I was just joking. I wasn't even expecting you to respond to that.
Well, Galen, we reap what
She
we
did
sow.
hear me say it then.
Oh, Galen.
This is cute. We planned out a trip to Disneyland, and one of the concerns of the trip is that we're going with a friend of mine at work and another family at work. So they were starting to look at prices for flights, and so I thought it would be prudent to let Shauna know that we had this idea to go to Disneyland again. And I said, "Hey, we're going to Disneyland." And she's like, "What? It's a bit early, isn't it? Wasn't it just summer?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I am being weird." And then she's like, "Because I got plans to go to Iceland." I was like, "Did you just gaslight me out of making plans first so that you could be first?" And we just decided today that the first week of summer holidays this year, we're going to go back to Disneyland. And have I told you what the trip I planned?
In the summer?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're going to basically drive to Pocatello on the first day. So like 14-hour drive. I'm sure we'll be exhausted. And then after the 14-hour drive, we'll wake up in Pocatello and go to the Idaho State
Actually,
Natural History Museum, which I'm pretty excited about. And then we'll walk around for a couple hours, and as it gets busy, closer to noon, we will get back into the car and drive to
Just a second.
what?
My instinct for survival. I just gotta find out.
What you saying?
that's really funny. You had to see what that sound was.
Oh,
You know, it sounds to me like
lions.
Like a Falcon 9 rocket launcher.
When was the last time you
That's a
saw it?
lot
I
scarier.
thought it was. I was imagining flames, and I couldn't figure out why somebody would be using flame for so long.
That's very
All right, go on. Sorry.
So we're gonna get to Vegas the second day,
Sorry, so what are you doing?
and then
And how much are you doing?
we're gonna go to the what do you call it?
Fremont Street.
Fremont Street, and the museum's gonna be the
I'm honestly okay.
Neon Light Museum.
Mhm.
In Vegas.
We can still go like out in
So
that
when is
area
this?
that
When are you
is
going?
really, like,
What's that?
When?
I don't know what you said.
Oh, you don't. Oh, okay.
Oh, when are we going?
Yeah.
July 5th.
Oh, July. Okay.
July 5th.
Like, is he inviting us to go to LA?
Who?
You guys want to go to LA?
I don't know.
No. He's already asked me if I wanted to go, and I already told him.
Oh,
You can come.
It's like, oh.
That doesn't mean you don't have to. You're an adult now. You can do what you want.
We're in a convoy. So, but every day is a long drive after a different hotel. I mean, after a different museum. So drive, museum, drive, museum. Actually, basically like drive, sleep, museum.
Mhm.
Man, can you imagine how much fun it'd be if we took Maya? Galen was just like, can't believe she went without us.
She's done a lot of stuff without me. She's gone to Iceland.
Oh yeah, that's also where Felix is going.
Felix is living the life.
he's going to Iceland?
with his mom and his grandpa.
So that was the problem with the date. Is Sean was like, we're going to Iceland. We might be going on that. And I'm like, I find that unlikely to
Yeah, it is like
you plan a trip to Iceland on the same
Well, we
day.
can camp in a hurricane. That's the question.
I did.
I
organize
like
a
it
bit
more,
more,
too
so
much
I
like
can
blue
do
and
it.
yellow.
I don't know what that means.
Just be green.
Is it a
That's
hurricane?
what
Tonight?
Maya and I.
But it's too much.
Oh,
They decided they were going to camp there, and they went out and they were going to camp in basically a squall, 120 kilometer an hour winds.
Wow. Congratulations on surviving.
that was actually my last camping trip as well. Last time I slept in a tent, I went to Edmonton and
Yeah, you call me before you guys
set up in the
go.
Lions campground in Sherwood Park. I went for dinner by myself at the
I don't know.
International State, or like something like that. New York Pizza, International Steakhouse. Just for my childhood, it was like a nice memory. And when I got back to the campsite, my tent had blown like 50 feet into a lake. And I spent the rest of the night like inside a garbage bag, freezing to death. It was brutal.
But if it did.
But memorable.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you something. The next morning I woke up and I rode my motorcycle to the nearest laundromat and froze outside for 45 minutes waiting for
Take
them to
care.
open.
Nice seeing you.
Nice to see you.
See you. And then it opened and I threw my laundry I threw all my clothes into the laundry machine, just wear like a t-shirt and like maybe shorts. Like I think I might have like pajamas or something, but it was like one of those commercials where the guy threw all his clothes into the washing machine. And I remember it only took about 10 minutes for my clothes to go from like hypothermic to livable. And then in that time, I went outside to wait for my clothes, and I was just sitting in, and the sun came up, and it suddenly went from like -4 to 20 degrees. And I couldn't remember what it felt like to be cold. And it was such a weird experience to be that cold for that long
Mm-hmm.
and that close to death. And then sun peaks, and it's like kind of comfortably and almost hot. I was like, how could you ever go from that cold to that warm? How's that possible? And I couldn't remember what it felt like to be uncomfortable was what really bothered me. I was like, I thought I was going to die 10 minutes ago. And now I'm fine. How anticlimactic.
How
And
anticlimactic.
I'm still here.
Good story, Rich.
We're happy you're still
You know,
here.
Being wet on a motorcycle is not very comfy.
Well, I wasn't on the motorcycle. I was in a tent in a garbage bag.
But you drove to the
Yeah, laundromat.
laundromat.
Yeah.
Even
That was
that's
probably worse than
uncomfortable.
sitting in the tent and not moving.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Well,
think
it's kind
like
of hard to tell. Like
on
when
the
you're
motorcycle,
concentrating
I
on a
was
motorcycle.
comfortably numb. In the tent, I was like dying.
Hopeless.
It
yeah.
actually changes your attitude when you're on a bike.
It really does. That's what I know. Like,
Yeah.
really shift a perspective.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
It's weird. I don't know why. Because you can be in the same miserable conditions, but it's a different feeling.
It's the, like you said, it's the active movement, Rich,
Mhm.
right? Like you're doing like, and
You gotta move.
you see things differently than you do in any other mode of transportation. It's really interesting. It is very different.
Mm-hmm. I miss going to Waterton this year. Still have time to go. Waterton.
Was that a motorcycle trip?
No, it's just my regular, almost brush with death every year.
Every year.
What, so-
Is that safe?
I don't
Is
know. The last time I almost fell off the cliff, and the time before that I almost froze to death from
So this time it'll be
bear. I'm always hoping to see a bear, but I never see one.
Man, every time
Big
somebody
tons of
gets eaten
bears.
by a bear in Alberta, I think, didn't you know there's bears in Alberta?
I didn't know they ate you though.
Usually they just maul you,
That's what I mean. Like you get mauled.
and that's usually because
Do
you're in
they
the
maul
wrong
you with
place
Getting
their
at the
teeth?
wrong
eaten is
time.
like an additional.
Did they maul you
fun.
with their teeth?
No, they use their paws.
They only use their paws. They
Yeah,
don't bite at
stomp
all.
on you.
and then they take their jaws and they peel your skull off.
Right. And then if
Wow, that's
If some
specific.
of that-
some of that skull went in your mouth, in its mouth, and it consumed it, then they ate part of you.
Yeah, I suppose. Maybe just a taste. I don't think they'd want to eat me though. Old and sinewy. You'd be like, "Ugh, I want a fresh one.
So you're saying bears just sport hunt people, or do they actually like gnaw on you a little bit and have
I
some
think black bears will eat you. I don't think
vitamins out of your carcass?
Easily.
Is it because we're not good eating?
It's just not worth it. It's not much meat.
That's very interesting.
I don't think they usually attack people for that.
I've
I
always-
think they're trying to defend themselves
Yeah.
most of the time.
I've
People
always
are
been-
invading their area.
Way less afraid of bears than cougars. Will cougars eat you?
I don't know. I don't know much about cougars. I don't
Like
know a
if they
whole
peel
lot
your
about
brains
bears.
out to clean their teeth, it's as bad as being eaten. Chess.
Okay, fair.
Don't worry about the details.
Fine.
Well,
Once your skull's
no,
been peeled
because
off, it doesn't really matter if they
if
clean
they
off the
eat you,
plate.
There's no evidence the bear did anything, and then they get away with it. But if they eat you there, it's like, oh,
Right.
a bear did this. Let's go hunt it down.
A bear did this. I know what did this.
Look, I'm not saying they should hunt down the bears if they eat people. I'm saying the people are in the bear country, and
Yes.
every time somebody gets eaten by a bear or scalped by a bear,
Scalped by a
I think to
bear.
myself, wow, that was avoidable.
Avoidable. We don't need to go into the bear's territory. This is a huge cape.
Why can't we just get along?
Why can't we?
Well, there's an answer to that. It's called the food chain,
Why can't we?
which we're mostly at the top of, unless we go to bear country, and then we're not at the top of. Then we're kind of in the middle of upper top end,
I think the
upper
reason
middle
you see
class.
So much about bears right now is because they're trying to push for people to go hunting for them. So
Who is?
People- the farmers.
not that there's any conflict of interest between the minister owning a bear tracking and hunting company.
Oh my
and
god! No!
Which minister are we talking about?
The one that's in charge of the environment
What's their name?
for Alberta that wants to start a bear hunt. Well, he is starting it.
I don't know anything about this. Who are we talking about?
I don't know his name. I don't know.
Is it Rick McIver? Because he's responsible for everything bad.
Rick
Did you
McIver.
get that online?
Rick
Rick
McIver.
McIver is responsible for everything bad.
Everything.
And you know what? He doesn't like Nenshi, which makes me love Nenshi even more.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Nice to
Hey.
see you.
So I got some teachers coming next week. Is it you guys?
Every week until December.
Creatures? So you said?
Okay.
Have you
Yes.
met Francois Ladisson?
Hey.
How are you?
Okay. You're a teacher. I know you from where though?
Wait, let me guess though. Southwest School?
Could be. Almost
St.
might be
Mike's.
Are you a teacher today?
that. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Would you recognize my face if I walked down the street by you?
Yep. But I recognize faces pretty. It's names I can't remember.
You probably did you
It's
drop
probably like 15 years ago, maybe.
did you drop somebody off at Lord's?
No, not at Lord's.
Were you full time or subbing when I saw you?
Full time, I'm pretty sure.
St. Mike's?
I only subbed for 2
I'm trying to
months.
figure it out.
Could have been teacher convention.
I think we ended up in a conversation one time.
Yeah. I can't remember.
What do you think we were talking about? Music?
Was Terry there? We're
lit-
talking about art.
What do you think we'd be talking about? What are some of your
Oh,
interests?
hold on. Did we bring you for lunch last year to dim sum?
No.
When I
that
ran
wouldn't be
into
it. No, I've seen you in a school.
Yeah.
But what? Oh, okay. But when we ran into you last year, did you come for dim sum with us?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Did you do a cultural growth thing for biology at one point?
No.
It's not that.
So you're science based guy?
Well, kinda.
Well,
Not by choice.
you're
Do you
pretty
think
science.
My
do you think
degree's
it
in
was
arts.
outside of the school at a thing like teachers convention?
Yeah, it's probably teaching convention, but no, I think I've seen you in a school, David, somewhere.
Because I don't think it was related to this guy. I think we sort of met on our own.
Oh, come on.
No, you're
Let
not
me be
invited.
part- let me
no,
be-
you're not invited to
fine.
this conversation.
Fine.
But you're very familiar. I don't think you had the goatee.
No, you didn't. Did you do drama?
Yeah,
Where'd you do that?
couple of schools.
St. Mike's? No.
No,
Um,
that's too easy. We can't. That's like Googling. We
Yeah.
can't. We got to find out. Without finding out schools, we got to think about where we met. Because it wasn't just walking by each other in the hall. We actually talked
No,
about stuff.
yeah, we did.
Did you braid each other's hair?
No, we didn't. It was more like
I don't even know what that means, but whenever somebody's yelling at me in traffic, that's one of my go-tos.
You mean you shouted out the window? Or what
Something
do you
like that. I usually say something like, "Get out of the car and we'll talk about your feelings." And then if it carries on, I'm like, "Listen, we can get together and I'll braid your hair for you." And it's like I don't even know what that means, but it really riles up the construction workers.
That's great.
That's great.
Okay, was
Things
it all
you
in a behavior scheme thing?
Galen has behavioral problems too.
not,
Yeah.
not unless it was non-violent intervention, but I don't think it was that.
Okay, we may have to
I
resort.
didn't make any connections in that. The only thing I did in that is go, "This, you think this is gonna work?" and kind of laugh. But
Okay,
um,
so
So you went to nonviolent. What is it called again?
intervention.
Nonviolent intervention and
you
use
mocked them.
sarcasm.
I mocked them quietly because I mean, they didn't study martial arts for like 30 years, so I understand that. But if you think you're going to be able to restrain a kid that's mad using those moves, you're kind of going to think of
True.
I think it had more
The
to
only
do
ones
with,
that would work are the double ones. The double ones are good.
I think it had to do with not hurting the children.
were you
first.
bouncing around a lot or stayed at a school for a long time?
I've stayed in schools for a long time.
Did you guys meet at
So
the
if I
library?
get the school, then you might be Ascension.
No.
Did you meet at the library?
Did you work at Ascension?
No,
What
I
about
took
the
a
library?
few years off teaching, just subbing around.
You must have stopped.
Do you know a person named Charlene?
You do know, Shirley.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. But I never worked with her.
Do you know that I know Charlene? Are we talking about the same Charlene?
How about, I can't remember his name. Frick.
I don't think we met because you knew this guy. How do you know this guy?
You know Brian Volke?
Brian?
Volke.
No, name rings a bell though. How do you know this guy?
St. Mike's.
He worked across the hall from me.
Okay, so
Why? You just talk to me like I'm the villain here.
So
And that guy worked
I
across
ran
the
across
hall.
the hall.
we did not meet because of this guy. I'll guarantee
Don't be
that.
embarrassed to me,
We're
Galen.
St.
We're
Mike's, by the
we're
way.
real
Huh?
friends.
We're St. Mike's.
St. Mike's is in Westbrook.
Ross Carrot.
So it's near Ascension. What did you coach? Did you coach?
Did I ever walk around and you see me carrying a guitar?
That's why I asked about Brian Gold.
He's a music guy?
Yeah.
Because when I subbed, I carried around the guitar. We play Name That Tune.
Jeez.
That's
I think I remember you having a guitar.
So maybe it was subbing.
You might have subbed for me or something, or you subbed for somebody.
But I know you more than that. It's more than just a face. We might have talked.
See, I was
Do you think if you saw a guy with a guitar, you'd come up to him and talk music?
Yeah, I don't know music. Well, I used to know music, but
And you might have said, I know this guy named Rich Thoreau, but you look a lot cooler, so maybe I'll spend time with you.
He could have said Rich put on a
it
rock
would have
club.
been before. If it's in school, it would have been before him.
Oh, that was 10 years ago. You were doing band stuff.
I was
on
doing
the
rock
show, right?
clubs, yeah. So like if he walked in with a guitar, he might have walked over and said, "Hey,
But I
used
would
to-
never sub that far away. No way.
I knew this guy." That
So
used
you
to-
were in the Southwest,
No.
Northeast.
Yep.
Northeast.
But I
right?
subbed around a lot. But
Yeah.
this is more than just a one
I subbed around.
passing
You
thing.
sub at Bernadette a lot.
Nope.
Okay. No, I've only worked in a few schools. I've been surplus for everyone.
There's no way that we met outside of school and we think it's school,
Yeah.
right? There's no,
No.
way that it's a school.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's school or convention. Very possible it's convention.
But we wouldn't have started talking at convention because there's 1,000 people there. And
Maybe you have to think pair
Share
shares.
side by side.
Think, pair, share.
They wanted you to get up and move around, do a little action.
Okay, you have to start naming
I
some
was
of
always
those.
I was always interested in I was interested in behavior stuff, like conventions, but like autism.
Okay, that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have I
All
wouldn't have
those
sat
stuff.
down in a little,
Were you in the Masters of Teaching program?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
That makes
Did you go
sense.
to Fred Parker?
What year did you guys graduate? It's a more important question.
So I was late.
1999.
Shut up.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, now this narrows it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's our due?
Hey, I was there in '99.
You were not.
I was.
Were you the one braiding my hair?
Wait, hold on.
Wait, do you think we had a class? Dr. Field,
No, I wasn't 99.
you know what?
Dr. Field,
Okay,
yeah.
seminar class.
Probably, yes.
Okay, I had Bohat Clark, Dr. Field. Son of a bitch, it's fucking school.
Yeah,
It's
it's
university.
It's university.
It's university.
Yeah, I can remember faces. I just can't remember names.
We graduated in 99, right?
Yep.
Shut up. Okay, so Dr. Field,
That's crazy. You guys figured
that
that
was
out.
like, what was that Dr. Field's class? It was a small
I had the
class.
same
Was
thing
the,
happen with Kevin.
we talked about life kind of thing, like a, I think
That's
it
the
was a
case
process.
studies, I think.
Case studies, and there was a process.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then we
right.
had,
Like how often, what class, are you saying you had Dr. Field?
I think I might have had him. He, the guy with the beard, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's him.
And he was the guy that was totally against the standardized testing, was on the radio
Yep.
quite a bit.
Yep.
So we went, it was like a Wednesday class,
I think so.
afternoon, and we meet once a week, correct?
Yeah.
Did we have to have more than one class together? Because we had to do other stuff too, right?
We would have met regularly on that, and then it depends because your field person was different than your
That's right, the
classroom
field,
person.
yeah,
Right?
the field.
'Cause
That's
my field guy was a teacher that they because it was the second year of that. He was a phys ed teacher for my first semester. The second semester, it was a guy from what was he from? Australia or something. He was a bus driver, so he'd like drive in on his bus and then he'd come in for class.
That's crazy.
Like serious, that's what he did. He drove his bus in, got off. The other guy took over and he'd come and teach.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
He'd come pretend.
Well, you know what tonight is very special for, right? 99. This is our 25th anniversary.
What? That's so
It's the
funny.
25th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. How come you never called? So did
So that's
you?
funny,
I
'cause,
didn't
like-
go into teaching right away.
That
What,
is
what was your life
25th
after 99? Like I waited like
So
5 years.
I subbed. She was born in the middle of my practicum. and then I subbed. So I didn't do my practicum until after January. So I had to get all kinds of special.
Are you saying you say that again?
So our final in class practicum, right, was
Like
supposed to
April-ish?
be just before Christmas,
Okay.
but she was born on Halloween. So
Okay.
right in the middle of it, she was born, and I was like, I can't.
So you
Okay.
delay your
So I
graduation.
had to delay it.
You graduated the
Well,
next
not,
year?
I still graduated that year, but I had to do my practicum after Christmas. So they made special accommodations for me. So I ended up doing part of it before Christmas, part of it after, and then I subbed.
We were the
rest-
same age, right? Like you're in your 50s, right?
Yep.
Are you
well,
not
I'm
in your
almost
40s?
60. I'm 59.
Okay, so there you go. So we're the same age.
So then I subbed till spring.
Okay.
Then I got hired with AC,
What's AC again? Is that the
the Alberta
catch up?
Teacher Initiative. Alberta
Yeah,
Initiative for it's when they had money and they didn't know what to do with it.
That's
so
right.
they
Yes.
wanted-
Okay.
Yeah.
to help struggling readers or something like that, right?
Well, they could do anything they want. Teachers could do anything. So they would do, it was professional growth, but I would go in and teach for them. It was like a full-time position.
How'd you
was
get that? I
subbing.
thought that was for like experienced teachers that wanted to change.
Was that the exception they made?
I have no idea.
So you could
No,
get
there was a lot of
experience?
us that were graduated. And like,
Interesting.
one of the reasons was because I wanted to try to decide what grade I wanted to teach. So I taught K to 12.
That's a great way, right?
Yeah.
Subbing too is like,
And it was full-time. So
Yeah,
I got
wow.
paid as a full-time, I got paid even if I didn't sub.
I subbed all those years for AC teachers because all those teachers got to get pulled out and do stuff.
Yeah.
You know what the good news is that we thought there was a lot of funding back then. And the way it's gone in Alberta, thank the Lord of this great UCP government. There's tons of funding now. We don't even know what to do with it again. I'm being funny. I hate this woman.
Yeah.
Being funny, just to be clear.
By
I
the way,
think
there's
that
lots
must
of
have been
stuff.
an election year that
Yeah, but
they
that's
had,
just
they had
weird,
the
right?
money for 2 years and then disappeared.
Who was even the premier then?
Grant. Was it Grant? Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff coming out this week. I think I'm joining that thing, the big, it's coming up October 26th, and they're just saying we've had enough. Like, so there's a big group that's coming downtown. There's been a lot of stuff. You got the old bribing the kids going on the buses to the Edmonton. They're going to pay the membership of these kids, 14-year-olds, to help with her leadership review. What came out today? Well, of course, she's thinking that breast cancer can do this, homeopathic type of screening, which the doctors are saying, "Are you crazy?" And then, of course, today,
Well, our doctor quit because of it. I'm pretty sure he didn't say
quit
anything.
or left to BC.
He retired.
Mine retired
2
too.
years. 2 years ago, he told me he'd never retire. He loves his job, and then
Mine retired this
he's
year.
retiring
too.
this year.
because of the.
Well, he didn't say that, but I mean,
Yeah.
like,
The coincidence
I mean,
is
now-
uncanny.
they've got nurses doing, not just nurses, but they've got. I agree with the nurses more than you go to the pharmacy and now they can assess you
Yeah.
for like drugs. I'm like, what? That's like totally undermining going to get your physician's degree. Like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
for? Everybody else is being able to like assess people now. So,
So you took a few years, you're subbing AC, and then you said, well, where did
Yeah.
you jump in first off?
full
Like,
time. Yeah.
did you want to be
Yeah.
right away? Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted my own classroom to see what would happen.
Yeah.
Where did you teach first, Galen?
Elizabeth Seton.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
wait, I know that.
Yeah.
What did I do there? That's Northwest, right?
So I got
That's a
hired
very
there
iffy-
because they started building it. And by the time they finished building it, the population was 4 times bigger than they thought. So instead of 1 grade 3, they had 4 and 30 kids.
Whoa.
in each grade 3.
That's
It
crowd
was-
control.
It
Not
was
good.
freaking huge.
Cute.
And you know what? I almost always had 30 kids ever since
That's
since
crowd control, man.
2000. If that was 2000. Yeah,
How are the parents there? They must have been kind of.
they were great.
They were great, really.
Yeah, but it was Kevin D'Souza, so he knew how to.
Oh shit.
he knew-
Seriously?
Yeah.
There's like so many circles.
Well, here's something I found.
Yeah. A lot
Um,
of, I don't know, some people just think of it.
I keep finding the same
Straightforward.
teachers end up at whatever school I go to. and then I started wondering if there's like a loop for the loopies.
It seems like that.
Like you work with the same teacher
Yeah.
5 times at 5 different schools. You're like, I wonder if we're on a list.
I like that school. Yep.
Where in the Northeast is it? Because I hear people
It's
talk.
in Panorama Hills.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Just off of Beddington.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was really stressful, but I liked it.
But I didn't a new guy there, and he said,
Hey, just to let you know, just we're on live,
What?
live feed,
Oh,
just in case you're saying anything.
every time when the newsletter came out, they would call about a missing comma.
Oh, yeah, well,
no.
yeah. I didn't have to see. That's the thing about him is he'd have your back, at least as far as I could tell.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
They have to go through him first
D'Souza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
before,
Okay,
they,
so
before
after-
they took a chunk out.
He was a
of
man
you.
and a half.
I had a
I know
guy.
that name. I've never met the man.
That's the first place I had a guy threaten me though. He came in and did the old this thing.
Yeah, I have to.
No.
I think you're being unfair to my kid. I think you're picking on him. And I looked at him and said, well, then Alien Inline's picking on him. The music teacher's picking on him. The French teacher's picking on him.
Then everybody
Supervisors
else.
at lunchtime are picking on him. I'm like, I said to him, you know, your kid's pretty good. I like your kid. But,
Oh, no.
this,
So did you bounce around, or did you stay in did you stay 10 years at school, or what?
I stayed until I was kicked out of every school. So, okay, so that school, what happened was,
What surplus mean is when
So I
funding
was
cuts, when the
working-
numbers dropping kids and they
think
gotta get
about
rid-
coincidences. I was working with a guy that I saw naked. Because he was baptized at my elementary school
Oh
because
my
his
God.
dad taught me grade 6 science.
Wow.
So I actually saw him naked because he got baptized in front of us. And so he was across the hall and I went to him and said, I know this is really stupid, but you happen to know like this Mr. Cozine and Regina. He's like, that's my dad.
And from Regina too, not
From
from
Regina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the last
So,
name's really
I worked
deep.
with him, and then he just got married, and they settled down, bought a house, and right after that, they decided to surplus people. And he was the last one in, so he's going to be the first one out.
Hmm.
And I said, Tim, I'll go instead. Because first of all, I had to drive 40 minutes to get. He just bought a house by that school so that he could get. And I was like, okay, that would suck, right?
Oh my God.
So I said, I'll go. So,
Oh,
well, it was a 40-minute drive. Well, I made it in 15 once.
Jesus.
But it's 40-minute drive from. I live in Cedar Break to there, and then about an hour back. But
So on winter
I
days.
made it in 15 when Mom locked the door and Kai was in the bathtub. So, but so I went from there to filled out all the forms, and then they sent me where I didn't want to go.
But I thought you could list 3 schools and you get a choice.
5 pages. You get a choice of grade or like a school or position. So I put the 3 choices down. It was like either closer to me or grade 3 or higher. They phone me and say, congratulations, you got a 1-2 split
Oh,
in the place that's farthest east from me as possible.
That's
And then I was like, what? And then
Congratulations.
I said, you're joking, right? She said, oh, it's great. I'm like, you're serious? Like, I fill out all that paperwork and then you give me exactly the opposite of everything I asked for. And I'm supposed to be jumping for joy.
Thank you, sir. May I have
do
another?
you have a choice or no?
Well, I told them I'm not going to do it. And then they got a teacher that said she would do grade 1 and 2. And I said, okay, that's fine. I'll come there. So they gave me grade 3.
Oh.
Squeaky wheel.
But that's not fair. They treat people
That
like
was
that all the
brutal.
time.
But I stayed there for 5 years. That was the toughest school I've ever taught at.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Then I got surplus from there because the music teacher, Brian Volke, that I was telling you about, just bought a set of guitars, class set, managed to get permission to do it, bought a class set of guitars to teach the kids guitar.
Ukuleles, acoustic?
No, acoustic guitars for every kid. in
The Yamaha
class.
F310 things or what?
kid size,
Wow.
and it was either him or I.
So if you're a music teacher,
So I said,
Say goodbye.
order some,
You had to
order
be the nice
some.
guy twice, obviously. in
I
that
wanted to be a
situation.
phys ed teacher, and I just gotten my phys ed position, and I said, well, anybody can teach phys ed, but I don't think everybody can teach guitar. So I said, I'm going. And then I ended up at Mike's for 12 years and ended up working with him.
So what year was that when you met this guy?
I don't know. When was that?
We were young ones.
Huh?
I said we were young.
2010ish? Or later?
No.
2008.
There for 12 years.
I think
I agreed
2008.
to stay there for 2.
And you guys were like across the hall from each other?
Yeah.
Well, you were in the other hallway. for
Yeah, I
most
was
of the
in the
time.
other hall. I was in elementary. Well, I was in. Okay, so
We coached wrestling together.
I got grade 2 there. And then I taught grade 3. Then I taught grade 4. Then I taught grade 5. And I told them, you can't give me the same kids again because
You're
They know-
following
they
those.
know the color of my pajamas. But I thought, like, I was like, they know everything about me. I can't tell them any more stories. Like,
Was this when he was wanting to do the little band stuff? He had the guitars and the drums and had bands?
I
Like, was it a
think- I
concert
think
you
he
put
did,
on,
yeah.
or what was it?
It was like a rock show.
Because what was I there for? Did I drop
Probably-
off amps or
You're
something?
probably doing sound or you dropped off sound. Did you drop off sound at Father Scolin or Our Lady Lourdes? I mean,
Oh, no, Skoll for sure.
Scolin, yeah.
They did. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
do.
Yep, that's right.
And Precious Declaration. What band is that? Yeah.
That one.
Oh, a girl was in like a special, not a special ed girl, but kind of like a quieter girl, probably with some anxiety, and she played Precious Declaration. Which band is that?
I don't know.
I've got a long way to run.
Is that Headstones? No.
No.
Smile way.
It's a
Um,
name. I'm gone.
were you there when Jess was there and she sang the Four Non Blondes?
Oh no, really? That's good. So you're saying that you did a concert at Skoll twice?
I did a concert at Scolin once, and then I moved to St. Tim's, and I did that every year until they surplus me.
Say Mike. Mike.
That school that I went to help you out, that was far, far away, like in the way, like you could almost see the mountains or something.
Father Scolin, yeah.
No,
That's
the other
Tim's.
way.
You came up
West.
to Tim's
That'd be
St. Timothy?
Tim's, yeah.
in Cochrane?
Is that Cochrane?
Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't-
high school, isn't it?
I don't remember doing rock
Yeah,
band in St.
both.
Tim's though. Did I? I don't think I
It
did.
felt like it was going that far.
That maybe was St. Mike's. It
Mike's
was pretty far west.
Mike's is far. Where do you live?
In the north. You live in the more east.
It would feel like it was far away if you're living in the Northeast.
Or if you missed it.
Yep. So I was
You
there
kept
for
driving.
12, and then I left. Why did I leave from there? Oh, it was the same reason.
Didn't
You've been
say-
surplus 4
So the
times.
other grade
Didn't-
5
didn't you
teacher had
swear
just
on
bought
the,
a condo near the school, and so they had to surplus somebody, and I said, okay, it's time for me to go.
And this is because of numbers dropping in the kids.
At least that's what I think it was.
So
for.
the principal says it will have to do something, but does anyone want to volunteer
Volunteer
first?
Yeah,
Is
and
that
I
what-
just say, yeah, I'll go.
So you basically, in 4 occasions, made everyone less stressed when you were actually the volunteer.
Well,
guy.
and it's like, I don't mind change. I'm not afraid of change. Like, I needed it after 12 years there, to be honest.
And Rich had already got surplus, so
Yeah, I didn't want to be there anymore.
So you've been like uninterrupted in full-time teaching for like literally,
25 years, yeah.
and are you full-time teaching now?
Yep.
And are you going to go into your 60s?
No, he's got one year.
next well
Like this is kind
I
of
can-
sad.
I
We graduated without having
Yeah.
a job. We meet up again, and it's like this is how quick our lives are. This is how quick it goes.
So-
that's right.
There we
I
go.
am-
So
That was
3
our
weeks
whole
ago, and now
career.
you're done.
because of the way it works. So AC, the second year, wasn't full time. They got rid of it because people take advantage, right?
Mhm.
So if you were you got paid.
What do you mean? How would they take?
Okay, so like, let's say I didn't have a gig for that day.
Okay.
I'm supposed to go into a school and work.
right?
How does that work? You choose a school or what?
Yeah, you just go anywhere and help out. But what
You
people were
you
doing
get to
is they
choose
were,
that morning?
Yeah.
Well, then
so
that's
like, 'cause I
human
get
nature.
paid, right? So people weren't doing that. So the next year they just made it part-time, and you only subbed when you subbed, and you only got paid for that. So because of that, I would have lost an entire year of, because we had a principal and everything, right? I would have lost a whole year toward my tenure, right?
I'd kill somebody.
So I would have been 3 years behind, not 2 years, because if I got the same job and subbed for a
Right.
year,
Yeah.
that wouldn't count, and then I'd have to get another one. So
I
was like,
did that. I
freaking
took-
out, right?
I took a mat leave that
Yeah.
fudged me 1 year.
Like I almost crap
Wait,
because I wasn't
Mat
getting
leave's
the job.
okay.
So
No, it wasn't a full
basically,
year.
Kevin
It was 8
D'Souza
months.
saved me because he hired me. He was the last
Who
interview
did?
I had. It
Who
was
did,
the
sorry?
18th of
D'Souza.
September,
Right.
Wow.
and he hired me that day.
Oh my gosh.
And if I had been longer than that, I would have lost the whole year.
Wow.
As it was, I lost a month and a half or something like a month from that, and then from the strike that happened right after I got
Right.
hired,
Yeah, right.
I lost another month. So I can't.
Well, didn't
I
everybody
can't
lose a
get
month from
full
that strike?
pension until the 25th of October next year.
After, what is that, 25 years you're saying?
Yeah.
What's
That's
full pension
20
after
that's
25?
my 85 when I get, it'll be 25 years. It's
Gosh.
25 years of teaching now, but it'll be 25 plus a little bit because
Of that.
of that. Yeah.
I'm jumping around. I think.
Imagine how
I'm not
fun
even
that
at
last
14.
2 months is going to be.
Have you been steady since we've met? Like, do you have 20 years in?
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
You have 20 years in.
Yeah.
See, I quit for a while. I think maybe 14 years. You stayed steady for 20
I'll
years.
tell you, if I quit, I'd
I
come
took
back.
it 2 months.
What's that? See, I quit for a while. I think maybe 14 years. You stayed steady for 20 years.
I'll tell you, if I quit, I'd
I
come
took
back.
it 2 months.
What's that? See, I quit for a while. I think maybe 14 years. You stayed steady for 20 years.
Whoa. That
A
was
little bit of a
crazy.
See, I quit for a while. I think maybe 14 years.
I know, but you have to mute whoever's doing that.
I don't know who it is.
I love you. We have to mute you. That's kind of nice.
Was it someone's asking a question, or what was
I
that?
have no idea.
I don't know. Now it's
Do you
nice.
think
It's just
that
music.
you will come back as a sub, or are you going to leave and never come back?
My tradition of things is to leave and never come back.
That's a good tradition.
I might keep it open for a
Like
while.
mystique, right? You
But
have to
it's-
just.
It'll be hard to make
Oh,
change,
hang on.
and I like teaching.
Hang on. Which is the, is that microphone on?
Like, I think I might actually. So when I was subbing, I didn't like going into a classroom because it was different rules every time, different
Okay.
setups, different people, and different expectations, right?
Okay.
And I found that kind of stressful at the time.
And you
But
did
now
that
that
in
I've
your
taught
beginning
for
years?
now that I've taught so long, I've got my own personality for teaching. So I try it. I might try it just to see what it's like. But no SPs to do, no coaching to do, no this, no
And you
that.
can
Just
just-
come in, teach, and go.
And you can choose
So-
what schools you like. Like you can go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
because there's always teachers that come into our school that they come, they're comfortable. It's like a.
They always come back.
Yeah, it's like.
And then if you have bad experience, those schools
Then they don't.
have
Yeah,
a lot of trouble getting subs.
totally.
You know what I'm going to do after I retire? I'm going to arrange for Jesse to take over my job because I'll keep taking on stuff that nobody else can do. And then I'm just going to go hang out with her in her classroom and be a teacher volunteer. And I'll pay
He's
for
always stupid, eh?
Yeah, he does
Crazy. I'll be a teacher. I'll do exactly what I do to get
But
paid,
he'll
I'll
probably
be-
enjoy it more if he's volunteering.
Yeah,
maybe.
because then you're not. Yeah.
So like I
not
said, I might
beholden.
like it as a sub because
Well, I subbed for many years because I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It was just a great feeling because, you know, we all got a million things to do.
Yeah.
And I needed breathing space so that I can't be exhausted. And
yeah,
I
and
just
then you can pick
absolutely
and choose.
metaphorically hated report cards.
I loved it when I was doing part-time work when my wife and I first came here. It was so nice because we could go to Banff on
Yeah.
Wednesday
Yeah.
if we wanted to, you know, or like just sleep in on Thursday afternoon. Go out and go there. You don't have to do it. So it was kind of nice. So
I'll think about it. I was thinking of getting a job driving or something. Something totally,
Opposite, different.
yeah, totally not middle. Like I've already got I'm already got another job. I work at Stampede. I do ushering and stuff. So it's interesting. Meet lots of interesting people. See lots of interesting things that I never thought I'd ever see. I have seen everything now, by the way.
By the way,
Those carnies are.
between Rumble House and the Stampede, I'm sure you have.
It's been interesting. And
What's,
you know
what's
what?
the weirdest
That's
thing
not
you've
a
seen
bad
at
job.
Stampede?
People eating horse poo?
Okay. Like as a joke, or
No, just picking it up
They
and
were
taking
hungry.
a big mouthful, chowing down.
huh. Is that a thing that I don't know about? Or?
I don't know what that is.
Maybe
But like I
they're
said, once I
deficient
saw
in
that,
some
I figured I've
vitamins.
seen everything.
Vitamin deficiency.
And so we've
And
never
you're
crossed
looking
paths on our subbing days.
I
25
think
years.
I have seen you sub with the guitar before, because I think you came in and sub somewhere, but I
I
don't know.
wonder
where
what
it
school
was.
that would have been. That would have been when you had a full
But I've
time
only
gig.
been at Bernadette,
Nope,
Mike's,
nope.
and Holy Cross.
Holy Cross, then maybe. This would have been a long time ago, 20 years maybe.
No, I've only been at Holy Cross for 4 years.
Oh, in the last 4 years, no, then that wasn't there either.
So I think it was university.
And you're just assuming that you saw me when you tried that, you're thinking.
Well, maybe I just heard about it.
I think.
Did you go to St. Philip's? Did
I was
you?
there once.
You might have subbed for my son. You'd remember him.
Oh, he came home with a story about the guitar guy.
Yeah, maybe. How long ago?
Because I still get that on the street, by the way.
Did he ever
joke.
sub you? Did he ever come in and play guitar? And
I had several guitar guy teachers.
yeah,
Yeah, there's one that always comes to our school too.
Yeah.
He was in the one of those
It helps
guys.
with crowd control.
One
So
of those
he
one of
totally
those guys
did.
was in the Paolas.
Oh yeah.
What?
Nice.
Yeah.
Was
What?
He was the keyboardist. There's a guy who subs for the district who was in the Paolas.
Shut up.
Yeah, and he's
That's
super
amazing.
He's super bitter about it because they like reunioned without him.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Well, who's the guitarist that did all the big record producing? What? The guitar guy was the record producer for the big bands.
Am I telling you? Did I tell you there's a guy in my building that did that? Or was that you? What? Help me out here. What's give me
He's
context?
asking
I know
about
it
the
wasn't me.
Paolas thing
Okay.
that you just said.
Great.
Do you know any more about the Paolas or just that guy subs?
That he was the keyboardist and he's super bitter and somebody replaced
So
him.
original lineup guy?
Yeah.
So was it personality that they would? That's kind of mean.
I think he was kind of kind of like Kim Deal. But also, I thought you were talking for a second there about the guy. Justin and I we live in a building, and there was a guy that had 3 or 4 apartments where he kept his guitars.
really like that.
that's neat.
It is.
And you're saying he was a big guy in music in Canada?
He was like, how would you describe him? Like he was just a drunk that would flirt with everybody in the building.
But you could tell he did something
Yeah.
because he
Must have been in Neil Young's
he
band or
had
something.
like 2 apartments attached.
No, he had 4 apartments in the building.
So
He
he's
had-
living off royalties? You're saying he was big enough back in
Yeah,
the 80s?
something like that. And he also
Yeah,
had
like
like,
in
a
the 70s.
Mercedes and a Porsche and a Corvette and a bunch of other stuff.
And a cowboy hat.
I think that's a movie scene right there.
Right?
And a forked tongue.
Forked.
And like Jess and I would get in the elevator and he'd look right past me and go, "Hey, little darling, want to come upstairs and see my guitars?" Like, I'm going to knock you out, motherfucker.
Mama said not to do that.
Yeah.
About a boy kind of scene.
Is that in that movie?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, though. It was a bit of what would you say, a scoundrel?
Yeah.
He was always super nice to me, actually, come to think of it. And he didn't really ever.
He always had like entourage.
He was never inappropriate with you when I was in the elevator, but then you'd tell me that guy's rude to me when you're not here.
No, the other guy was ruder to me.
Which other guy?
He
the
was
Russian guy?
also an older, drunker guy.
The joker guy.
Are you saying he had an apartment for music guitars only,
Yeah,
and he didn't live in it?
he had several
Like, he had
apartments in
multiple
the building,
apartments.
and one of
What are
his
you talking
apartments.
about? He had 30 guitars?
They would just be like going in the elevator between houses, and like he'd always have people with him, and he was like laughing
Partying
all
with
the
like
time.
16-year-old girls, and he was in his 70s. It was sketchy. Maybe
and,
not
And he
16.
lived downtown for the excitement of downtown, obviously.
Obviously,
I do think that we brought this on ourselves.
it is exciting living down.
I've tried living in the suburbs, and it didn't work out well for me.
Did you just do that like right now?
Just a second.
My gosh.
Why don't you draw with us? Do you want some paper?
Get out of here.
This one's cool, right?
So, Rich, do you know most of the people in here?
Yeah.
On any given night?
Yeah.
Some teachers want to come next week. Is that cool?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No teachers allowed.
No teachers allowed. It's like so many teachers.
Okay, so you've been in the scene. He gets together and all they talk about is teaching.
Actually, no, I don't hang
Put
out with
forks
teachers
in your
much.
eyes. I totally know
Yeah.
what you're saying.
How many teachers do I hang out with?
just
Rich, Jesse, that's it.
Edwards is a teacher.
Tedward's a teacher, but we don't talk about teaching mostly.
Sorry. What are you calling him? Tedwards?
You're both of your friends.
that was so
It's
cute.
Terry
I know. I
Edwards.
put it.
It's
I put it together in my head. and it
Has
was
he
so
always been
cute.
Tedwards, or is that new?
Well, for the kids, it has.
Okay.
So
Um,
if we start calling him
I
that,
always called him by his last name. We were always so formal. We were like,
Hmm.
he called me Stricker, and I called him Edwards
oh, that's cute.
ever since grade 2.
That's cute.
I'm not sure why we did that. Kind of weird. We never called each other by our first names.
Oh,
I used to
actually,
call Jess Zabo all the time.
yeah.
Now she's Teru, and I can't keep track of which one of us is important. We go to the shopping mall. It's like, oh, Teru. I'm like, hi, I don't remember you. They're like, walk right by me. He's like, oh, she's a Teru now, too.
One to the club.
I love that.
Who needs a hedgehog?
Oh yeah, he's wearing a leather jacket.
One of
And
our
he's
molds
got
is a
Billy
hedgehog.
Idol's.
You want a hedgehog mold?
He's got Billy Idol's
You still love
hairstyle.
hedgehogs?
Would you be able to know where the hedgehog mold is? We'll have to pull it out when we find it.
Yeah, we'll pull it out. But so it's like a latex mold, and you could like, I don't know. We're gonna experiment with what we can mold in these latex molds. We're gonna experiment with like clay. We're gonna experiment with plaster.
Molten lava.
We're just gonna experiment with like
Hedgehog cake.
soap cake. You do have to clean it.
I don't think
I
cake
don't
would
know
work.
if it's food safe.
We were thinking about like making
How bad
chocolates
could it be?
though.
No chocolate.
That'd be amazing. A hedgehog.
I think candles would be neat. To tell you
Candles.
the truth.
Candles would be
And
super
highly-
simple.
Highly
Like,
doable.
yeah.
Okay, I found your book during the summertime. Is it Do Art and Die, or what's the title? of it?
Make art and die.
Stop making art.
Stop
die.
making
Stop Making Art. Yes, it was.
That's not even my good book, by the way.
Well, if I bring it in next week, you'll sign it.
Jess, do you have a copy of the other book? Is
Yeah.
it there?
The one that you were at the Blue Fest with.
Sorry.
Probably. Was
I
it?
heard you met a teacher from
We
Lourdes.
should have
I
written
think.
these kids' names.
Lady
down.
came up to you.
Oh, maybe. Yeah,
Said,
yeah. That's how I found you.
That's how this all started.
I was like,
Because I did disappear for 10 years.
I tried to get a hold of you. You didn't get a hold of me. I was
literally disappeared.
I was looking for you for quite some time.
First edition.
These guys are probably in. Probably graduated now.
So, Jess, you have one book published, and he's got 2 books published.
Yeah.
I have more than
Well,
two.
we have a book of poetry together published, and then he's published quite a few actually chapters in different anthologies.
Yeah.
So he is
Say that again?
some
like I've taken
chapters-
part in a lot more books.
Yeah.
I've got a couple. Basically my publisher's like she likes group work.
So there's
So-
like this one on AI. So he did a chapter in this AI book. There's one on Embrace Your Divine Flow, and he did a chapter in that book. It's actually a follow-up chapter to that novel or novella. So he does illustrations for books for his publisher.
Get lost.
So he's like, Lori's a very, very amazing,
Prolific.
prolific publisher.
Okay, well, I'm going to buy this too.
That's a gift.
No. So when that lady came up to you, did she just recognize the name because I mentioned you to my friends?
No, something came up. She said she was at Lord's, and I said, "Oh, you got to help me find Ladisar. I've been looking for him."
What did she react to right away? Because I probably worked with her for like 10 years. Did she laugh?
No, she thought it was strange I couldn't find you because you were missing.
I was missing for 10 years.
Yeah, and I couldn't find you.
It was the most awesome feeling ever.
I was
Just
a
to
little.
be invisible.
I was kind of worried about you.
Yeah, some people were. Yeah,
As long as you're okay now.
I'm okay now.
I'm
That's
much
good.
better now.
I'm much better now.
So, you met at Lord's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You worked at Lord's? No wonder.
I was there
No wonder you
maybe
took
15
some time
years.
off.
You've heard about Ladisar because the reason I have a drum set is because I lived in an apartment, actually the same apartment I live in now. And Ladisar phoned me up on the last day of school because I used to sit at the kit when they were playing, and I would just sort of like bang, kind of keep the beat.
Mhm.
And Ladisar phones me up on the last day of school. He's like, "Rich, you got to get down here." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "There's a drum set here for $350." I'm like, "I don't have $350." He's like, "Forget it, I'm buying it." I'm like, "Francois, I live in an apartment." He's like, "It's fine." And he picks me up,
Now,
buys me a drum set, and drops me off with it. And I'm like,
can I say the funniest part of the story? So you continue on with your story for like 10 minutes, but I wanted to,
"Do you know
it's
the
the funniest part of the story.
I get it.
He would play drums in an apartment building. And you know what his trick was? He'd run out in the middle of the hall. Who the hell keeps doing it?
Yeah,
The other
I
guy.
heard that
I'm going to kill the guy. I'm going to kill the guy. And his trick was to run up Kramer-esque style and go,
Lead the-
we got to keep an eye on this guy.
Lead the hunt.
He run out at the same time. And it's like, that's actually genius.
Evil genius.
Okay, continue on.
That's the
I
story.
wanted to take credit for the funny part.
100%. I led the chase looking for me. And then actually my neighbor locked herself out of her apartment and asked if she could use my phone. And I was like,
Thank you.
so I said, on one condition. And when I opened up, because she didn't really care, but she was sort of taking part in this hunt just for the fun of it. And when she saw that I had a drum set, like it was the most seething look I'd ever seen in my life.
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Yep."
Did she tell the guy or no? She kept your loyalty?
No, I was saving her because she needed a phone.
Oh my god. I love that. Skeletor. Live, laugh, loathe. Patty, that's so good.
Skeletor.
Skeletor.
But 100%, I led the search for me.
That's funny.
That's the smartest move.
By the power of great spell.
Want to know what the hardest part was? Is keeping a straight face.
Is this the co-author of the poetry book for the two of you?
That's the River Troll, and then this is the
Awaken the Undertow? Is that what
yes,
you guys?
yes, that's the one.
Do you have that too? Yeah. Here you go. It's another gift. Francois,
Hey!
I didn't mean it, but if you read that book, I did say fuck you to Bob Dylan, and I deeply regret it now.
Okay, well, I'm going to buy these two next week. I'm going to bring in the Make Art and Die,
Yeah.
and you got to sign Chris Costa. So you're signing your name 4 times next week.
Sure.
That's fun.
I was listening to a Bob Dylan song, and he was talking about
Tips
Oh,
for
here it is.
vaporizing your rain barrel.
fuck you, Bob Dylan.
Empty the water a little bit.
Yeah, I'm so deeply regretful about that one quote in that book. Have you read Chronicles?
Because I can't get rid of it.
No.
Are you a huge Bob Dylan fan?
I've got a lot of Bob Dylan stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's one.
You should read Chronicles. But what happened was Trump was coming along, and I thought, where's Bob Dylan now? And then in the song, while I was thinking that, he's saying, if you, what's the line, Jess? If you,
If you can put up with this, then your heart is full of sand and your
no, that's not it.
something like that. Yeah.
Your
if you
eyes are
can-
full of mud and your your soul is dead or something like that. And I was like, oh, good point, Bob Dylan.
Like if you could, yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna buy both of these times 2.
Yeah.
And you're gonna sign it for the teacher that used to work at Lourdes.
Yeah.
And I'll send it to her as a little thank you gift for hooking us up.
Cool.
Cool?
Yeah.
That was Blues Fest, right? Is that still where the Stampede Ground people practice the band?
No, that's over by Lourdes. Blues Fest is right here, right across
I
the
thought they
street.
were near the remnants there for the wedding photography area, right near
The Blues Fest is right across the street, and they give us a free table, and that's probably the only thing that's going to continue on of this place after we leave. Is we'll probably keep still doing Blues Fest every year.
Huh.
And so they give us a table, and we just sit there and talk to people.
And they do it for free because they want to encourage art in the city?
Why did Blues? Here's what happened: is I used to put a sign in because it's a T intersection, and then if you turn left, it's the Blues Fest, right? So I had an art gallery right before the intersection to the Blues Fest, and I said turn left at the fork.
At the crossroads.
At the crossroads, right? And I just thought that was a nice way to say welcome to the Blues Fest, and it was a kind of joke that only Blues fans would get. And one day they're like, "What is this sign about?" Well, we used to keep the gallery open late on Blues Fest, so that we could
Let the people use
the bathroom if they need to, or just be
Talk to people.
supportive.
Yeah.
And they're like,
goes a long way,
why don't you guys come and join us at Blues Fest? And I was like, well, we're not really selling anything. It wouldn't be worth our while. And they're like, no, just so they give us a table for free, and we don't sell anything. So we're not intruding on the.
We give away, but we're not intruding on the other merchants.
We're not intruding on the vendors, and we fill
give
up a
away
spot, and
buttons
just an
and-
interesting thing. We're like a point of interest, I
Yeah.
think.
Totally.
And
And it's
Good
a big thing
vibes.
for you to promote Rumble House.
you would think nobody from Blues Fest has ever come in. Like we've never met somebody at Blues Fest and then they came here the next week. Have they? I don't know if that's ever actually happened.
No, I don't think
But in
so.
theory,
But then at least people know about. They might be joining online. We don't know that.
no, I don't think anybody ever actually showed up from Blues Fest, and I'm not bothered by it. I'm just saying it's not really like a business move as much as we get to go to Blues Fest.
And we get to meet people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about
like Felix loves Blues Fest.
yeah.
So is this love poems for the two of you kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a little indulgent.
So Rich would write like a poem to get up in the morning, or
I wake
Like
up with
we-
paralysis.
so it's kind of like these. I kept everything because I like keeping. I don't let him throw stuff out, and then I'd collect these poems, and then we had a whole collection before we knew it. And so Lori,
You would do this while
Told me
teaching too?
stories
You'd have a
about
poem
things.
in the morning before going out to work?
It's how I got to work.
I like that. You'd have a poem in the morning.
I'd
So,
wake up and I'd feel like I can't do this, and then I'd write a poem to sort of fabricate some courage.
And I can't remember.
How would you have the time if you didn't
Because
have
I
something
wasn't
in your
leaving
brain?
for work unless I wrote myself out of bed. It wasn't like
But if you didn't have an idea in your brain humming along,
no.
Would you be late for work?
Some of them are like morbid poems. No, she'd be like yelling at me, like, "Are we going to work or not?" I'm like, "I'm frozen."
he's like, I'm not going. You can go. And I'm like, 10 minutes, Taylor.
Well, would I even answer you? I think I was just kind of like
You
stuck.
wouldn't answer.
so does each poem here reflect a day that you remember pretty clearly still?
Some of them.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So there's some that are very specific, yeah, and then some.
And a lot of them were like, you were giving me the courage to get out of bed. So they seemed like love poems, but they were really just more about like,
every day.
how do I get out of bed today? How do I face this day? How do I? I don't find it as hard as I used to, by the way. Like I think when I was writing those poems, I was really distraught. And probably the reason I haven't written a lot of poems lately is I haven't been as distraught as I was when I was writing those.
That's really nice.
Now, is it like the Lennon McCartney thing that you guys are not signing to the poem you wrote?
Yeah, kind of.
'Cause
Yeah,
there's no acknowledgement to any poem.
it's very nice seeing you guys.
So is that,
It's fun.
No,
that's kind of a
100%.
nice idea.
100% it's like when
How much for a photograph?
How much for a photograph? Take a photograph.
What?
I just want to take a picture of it.
You should bid on it. Like my work's been selling for like $3 lately. Yeah, I haven't sold a painting in a while.
I love that eagle. Did you do a wings?
I can't put that on
Or
the classroom.
vulture?
pigeon,
That?
dead
Oh, right,
pigeon.
it's
There's
got
always
bodies.
pigeons we kept
Hmm?
finding over
Because
the
it's got bare
summer
bodies.
with
Yeah.
their hearts
And they were
plucked
bottled.
out or their heads plucked off.
Oh, nice.
And it was like very ritualistic, and so I did this as like in honor of the pigeons.
Did you embroider all the feathers?
I got a
Um,
picture of the comet.
These are
Yeah.
this is
Bad, eh?
Have you
wool
seen
that was hand spun by our friend in Illinois.
It's invisible, eh?
And then I did the rest
Here's
of it
the
is
thing.
all hand embroidered, but I did couch stitching for this.
Oh, the
so it was,
comet.
like, way
Yeah.
less.
No,
way
I
less
would have liked to
stitching.
see the comment. I thought for a
And
second
then
there, I
I
just
had-
flashed
I
back
had
to
different
you.
things for this,
everybody
and then I was
talking
like,
about
oh,
the,
we're gonna
um,
have, like a
Northern
magic
Lights.
cape, and, like,
How would you
thinking
end up
of, like,
talking about
being like
yours
the
when you
order
met
of the
someone
gaping heart
just on the
pigeons or
street?
something like that.
Did she
like,
work at Lawrence?
making a
Yeah, but how would that
Love
come
it.
up? Why would
So
you?
cool.
I usually just, if somebody's
I
a
wanna
teacher,
do a
they tell me
few-
they're
I was
teachers.
thinking
why
of
would you
doing
even
a
say
few of
that
the
you guys
20-point
were
stars like around it
teachers
to kind of
or
have it
whatever?
like
That
really
come up
in
special.
conversation?
And then, yeah, and then I have like
Or sometimes
I
they
just
go,
ordered this
Or did she recognize your
ribbon
name?
to
No.
Because I
to,
talked
um,
about you a lot.
do the front of
no,
the-
I think, well,
the front of
maybe
the cape,
after,
and then I
after
have
she
some,
realized we
like,
knew each other,
orange-
she said, yeah, I've heard about you.
Did she say that?
Totally,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's not how we discovered each other.
Totally,
I think
yeah.
it was
That's
more
what
like,
I'm. That's what.
people often wonder, what do we do in the
That's-
daytime?
that's- you
And that's
see
when we'll be
exactly
like,
what
oh,
my
don't
mission
tell
is.
anybody,
Yeah.
but we're teachers. It's our dirty secret.
Was
Yeah,
there a
but I
sister
love-
beside her? Blonde-haired lady?
Yeah, I just love it.
I remember, like, I was
Because I found too, like through
really
here,
concerned
I
about
found
finding you,
a nice
and
love
probably
for
not even
pigeons too.
really
Because
listening
like
to it. Kind of like I was,
they,
there's
like,
something I
eat
wanted
the front
to
of the building. They're,
share
like,
with you. I
they're
might
just
maybe wanted to
troublesome,
give you a
but
copy
like
of my book.
also I love
something.
magpies and they're troublesome.
But I
And, like, the
remember I was
pigeons are
looking
just,
for
like,
you
they're
for
really
something.
beautiful. Like,
There was
the
a point where I
coloring.
specifically
They're so gorgeous, and it's like
wanted to give
they're
you
just they're
something.
doves
Might
but
have
with
been a
different
book
color. Like that's the thing.
or
Is like
something.
there's some beautiful
And
pigeons.
so, but
So I was
but I
like, you
couldn't
know,
find you.
I just need
It could have
to
been just to tell you
do
that
an
I had
homage to the
Rumble
Rumble
House, but no, I think there was something that I was really
and I
eager to
just
talk
yeah,
to
I
you
really
about.
love doing the heart.
Might have been music too. So one of the things that happened when I met Jess is I had. Do you listen to vinyl? Yeah. So I had a vinyl collection of about 300 records when I met Jess, and she had a vinyl collection of about 300 records when we met. So we had about 600 records together. And since then, we've quit drinking and manage our money better. And I would say 100% of the money we spend that isn't survival, unless it is records. Like we spend our money on records. Like it's still kind of survival, but that's where we put our money.
You going like Record Land?
We generally go to Heritage Records.
Okay,
She
yeah,
used to
yeah.
work there.
You used to work at Heritage?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
APL. I know. It was very lucky. Like it was a really nice. I worked there in the summers between school. So yeah. How's it going, Theo?
We're thinking of like retirement. Hey Theo, we're thinking retirement wise, we might try and buy Heritage Records off of Jerry.
See you guys.
See
It
you
was
guys.
really nice
Nice
seeing
meeting you again.
Now, what's your name again?
Galen.
Yes, I know. Okay,
And you're
Galen,
Francis.
yeah, Francois.
Francois.
Galen.
Yeah.
Last name?
I'm gonna go. I kept all my stuff from university, so I'm gonna go back and look and see. if we did
Are you
something
coming back
together.
before Christmas? Before?
He comes
Yeah, oh,
every
yeah,
week.
usually.
Okay.
Probably be here next week.
Yeah.
No,
He's a
Galen
local.
totally
That's
rings a bell.
funny.
That's it.
Yeah.
We were in the same, we were in maybe more than one class together.
Yeah. I'll
That is
see if I
totally
can find
cool.
it because I kept all my university.
That's what I did too. Yeah. Okay, man.
Hey.
Very
Nice
cool.
seeing you guys. Have a good night.
Hi, how are you? Yes.
Yeah, so Francois, I've been managing my
Hey Theo.
mental illness with records for the
doing?
last.
So now you have more than 600 together.
I have
Where do you keep your records?
I shed in the backyard.
What?
I just shed in the backyard.
No.
Nice.
Okay, but if you had records, do you remember keeping them in an IKEA shelf?
Everyone did.
Which IKEA shelf?
These,
Well, you're probably looking at the pack system.
these.
We have 5 by 5 by 5 by 5.
Just
Have
making.
you cleared all of my stuff out?
Yeah.
They
What
are
color?
all
White?
here.
Enamel?
Black.
Black brown.
Here, I had to move everything for the
And we have,
Thanksgiving
we
dinner.
have,
Oh,
we have
right.
every single one of the shelves.
So they're just beside here.
So you're guessing how many now? Or you should know the number?
What's that work out to? Like 2,000?
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. How many you got?
Um,
Why are they in the shed?
I have an original from my sister.
Why are they in the shed?
Life is busy and, kids took over.
Come over the weekend to help you set up your iFi. That's been the salvation of my life. I quit drinking, started eating better, and I put all my money
know
into
that.
it.
And actually, you can give it to me. You can give it to me. I'll pick it up for her.
Oh, amazing! Thank you. Here, I have it back here. That's so nice. Thank you.
Yeah. I think we all go through that, but for me, over COVID, I my blood pressure went up, and I had to fix my blood pressure while I was. What's that?
What were your numbers?
It was just 155 over 105.
Not too bad.
Yeah, but I was athletic,
You're
right?
on Roundup Pro now?
What?
You're on Roundup Pro?
No, I just started eating better. So I'm down to about 130.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. They don't believe me because they keep testing my blood pressure at the doctor as soon as I put the cuff on my blood
Yes,
pressure.
you did. Yeah.
Who writes the
And I'm
back of
gonna
these?
send you the money too. I found out on
Yeah, so what were you working on?
it's my.
Oh, my goodness.
But
I'm
yeah,
putting
like
it
my
on the back
records have
of my
really been
clothes.
my salvation. And how do you listen to music then?
Oh, well, fortunately, that's
I'm
remote.
listening to
It's
this
chalk.
too.
So that's my pigeon. I'm gonna
Okay,
do
well, that's what we got
20-point
fixed.
stars around it, so it's all.
Over
celestial
COVID, this is
and
a funny
shit.
thing.
I'm news obsessed now.
And then I
All the
bought
world right now.
a new
Yeah, over
like
COVID.
ribbons to put.
I got kind of plugged,
Down the
and
front.
that Jess and I had spent all our money on
Of it.
listening
And
to
then I
records.
bought some really nice toggle
I got to
closures,
this weird spot where
horn, and then I
she
did
put a
I
record on and
didn't
I would
like
immediately
this is
feel
like
like I
it's
can't
really
listen to
old.
this.
It is.
The only thing I could listen to was
Yeah,
Bob
so
Dylan
I
Does it
made
make
a
you
new
go to a
liner
place
that's
and
very
where you were
like
before?
really deep
and-
brown
and
and very
Daniel
soft,
Yeah.
and so it's gonna be
I think
like
it's the
really
authenticity.
like my
There was just
magic
something
adventure
so
song.
authentic about Johnny Cash and Daniel Johnson
Yeah.
and Bob Dylan. The only things that didn't grate my nerves. Maybe like Nina Simone, but for the most part, I was just listening to Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash. And I was worried that it would drive Jess nuts, but she's actually pretty.
The same.
I started opening up a little more. I started listening to Miles Davis again, but I was in this loop for a while. And out of the blue, I called my friend Pat Duddy. I don't know if I've told you about Pat Duddy. Pat Duddy would have had a DOA singer.
I'm glad that
Oh, yeah.
Locker.
that's like this didn't
He would have had
sell
a
because I
DOA
realized
t-shirt, right? He was just obsessed with DOA.
Okay.
sorry,
He played in a punk
didn't
band
work
called
with it, so I can
Wesley
rework
Dale's
it.
when we were in high
There's
school.
10 lines. and
He
I
went
can
off and
make it
became in
better.
BCDC.
Shut up!
Yeah.
These
And
ones,
then he was
They're
in that
pretty
little-
big, you know.
Yeah, he was also in that
Butterflies.
Circle of Wagons.
sort of
I
go
know
with
that band
landscape
too.
a little
Okay, listen,
bit.
I
PCDC,
love
like
that.
the bass player guy.
And then we just have a beat up old truck, which is a trans-dimensional yellow truck from my
I went
story
to LA.
that was in, I forget what issue of
Yeah.
the Cartoon Landscape Times. So
Had gone in and photoshopped himself
Someone
as
wants
the
a
drummer of
story.
DOA, like
That's
50
really
they can
times.
ask me and I'll send it to them, but otherwise it's just a beat up old truck with a
Pat
cushion.
Duddy's the drummer of the
I
Circle
love
band.
that.
No way.
Hey, it's drummer of
Rock
DOA.
star
I
movie.
love
Yeah.
that.
And then
Opening
so
bid.
when
Are you
was-
serious, man?
Yeah. And then
Sold the other ones
I
for
woke up
they
one morning and it
started
was one
at
of these
those
mornings where I was starting
30.
depressed.
Yeah, I think.
And on my
so.
Facebook feed, I found that they'd made a cartoon about him joining DOA. So
I don't know
one
what
of
it
the
is
DOA
about my
videos is you want to be
setup
in DOA.
when I
It's a
go
certified Daddy
online
Joe
in the
man.
studio.
Yeah.
So that really cheered me up, and I called him up to see how I was doing.
All
How
of
he was
the
doing COVID, and he
talking
was,
comes over
I can't
twice.
the music.
Oh,
There's a
no.
loop
the drums.
in
I
it.
was like, that's
It's
the
not
only
on-
thing
it's
I
not
can
on
listen
Is
to
it
the,
Johnny
every
Cash.
night or is it?
It's every night
Oh.
for me,
It's weird
but
to me thing
it's not in
because
the
I've never
the
liked
actual
Johnny
show.
Cash or Bob Dylan.
Oh, it's like
The only thing I've
that.
been listening to is Bob
In the
Dylan. and
studio, and I've
Johnny
tried.
Cash
Oh,
all day
that's
today.
so
Is it
weird.
And then I sent him a
That's
picture of
picking up.
Chronicles.
That's
and
funny.
I
My
said, you should
microphone,
read
but
this.
it's
And he sent
not,
me back
because I
a
turned
picture
the
of Chronicles.
microphone
So
off.
I'm reading it
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
And
That's
so,
funny.
it's like
I
close
just,
encounters
if you ever
of
try and
all
reach
having
me,
the same
you can speak
visions.
to me.
Yeah.
I
Over
wouldn't hear
COVID,
it
the
because
only
I
thing I could
turned off
tolerate
the
was
sound.
Johnny
I
Cash
can't
and Bob
stand
Dylan.
listening.
No, that's
And then,
horrible.
like I said,
That is
slowly I
the
integrated
worst.
Daniel
Oh
Johnson
my
in.
gosh. No.
And then
I understand now.
and then back to Miles
I
Davis.
understand
And then,
that.
and then it kind of opened up again. There was a span of time where I couldn't do anything but listen to those.
I like these beats.
And that's sort of what kept me
It's a
sane
nice-
through it. Was
It's a nice little-
I just
almost,
started. I use
becoming a
music now
scenic
like
in a way,
medication.
you know.
Yeah, totally.
The other thing is when I quit drinking, I started shooting
Scenic
super
trees.
instant film.
Yeah.
So I buy $100 worth of film every month. I have 3 instant
Scenic
cameras.
trees with
And
people.
when I need a boost of dopamine, I take pictures.
It's almost the same.
And a picture appears instantly, and I feel joy. But
And you can still buy that stuff?
what? Yeah, there's new cameras like the the Fujifilm's the way to go. Fuji's got 3 cameras. Polaroid's got new cameras, but I would recommend.
Are they the small little ones? That are,
Yeah.
There's the small thingies, like they're this big.
Small, medium, large. That's why I got 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're okay with the quality?
I like it because of the lack of quality.
Retro.
So it's because the pictures are imperfect. You have to push your mind into them to see them. And the same with the vinyl. When Jess and I started
blue?
mingling our records together,
It's
I started
Daniel
noticing
Regallo.
that I really
Daniel was in from
appreciate
England, and he was
my
doing
records
a really
that I sat
textural
down
piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just a frame painting.
It's just like a frame, framed painting.
My
But
favorite
that's
turntable
interesting,
doesn't have an
looking at
automatic
it with
stop,
them,
so if I don't
because it's
get
in
up
that
and
drop
work, it
frame
just
too,
stays
so
there.
it looks
Like,
like
you know, if that was an actual
But
drag.
the
Yeah.
act
Might be
of actually
interesting.
listening to
Totally.
music is saved
and
my
the
life.
drop frame
That's
really
the
does
thing
look
that
like
keeps me-
that. That's
Yeah.
And if I get a new album, they often come with downloads for your phone.
Mhm.
I don't even
Nice.
download them because I don't want to like mar the music with my digital. Like if it's on your phone, it just loops and you stop hearing it. It just becomes noise in the background. But when you have the vinyl, we have a record cleaner. We have like I bought some like equipment where I can like check to see that my needle's at the right angle. Like I bought an album that tests for
the frequency.
the frequencies. Like I just love my records. What keeps me sane.
You're an audiophile, mate.
Yeah, I guess, right? I mean, and not in the way that people traditionally are, because I'm not necessarily trying to hear it clearly, but we have 5 turntables because we moved this one from here back home. And the records all sound different on each turntable. So, like, depending on my mood, sometimes I like them a little rough, you know? Like, I keep buying those Crosleys because they're cheap and they sound bad. And I just I miss the and then I feel like I'm ruining my records. So I keep giving them away. Those are for you. Oh, yeah.
I was
No,
that's
that's
for you.
fine.
attending a Zoom
Take 'em
meeting
anyways,
tonight
I'd rather you
before
take 'em.
No,
here,
because then they stay better.
and we were talking about
I don't
want
IBM
them free.
Selectrics.
Well, you got to read them.
I know.
Nobody
Yeah.
else made
But
the
I'm
comment.
reading
I said,
very
yeah, they really.
delicate.
If
they
you
really
start
early,
reading them this week, I'll give you 2 copies, and you can
desktop
have a copy
typesetter.
that doesn't get banned.
They'll
I-
get ruined
I-
in the
This
car
one
on the
here,
ride
is,
home.
this one here is
You know,
this
the
one's a
balls
first edition,
had different font
Really?
faces on
Yeah.
them,
which
So
is
you
funny.
could, you know,
Before you
and,
publish, you think that
you know,
first
that
editions
was
are a
way
big
cheaper
deal,
than, you know,
and then you
having to
become a
go
writer
to
and you realize, you know, it's a big
a
deal is your
commercial
second edition.
typesetter and getting
And that didn't occur to me until
getting the types in
a
strips
while,
and-
eh?
Right.
So
and
this is
laying
the
it up,
second
you know,
edition.
you know, so it was great for
That's
fan
first
publishing.
edition. Oh wait, is it
Cool.
color?
Yeah, anyway, one of the guys
First
there
edition.
said, yeah, I got 6 of
You
them,
got
none of
second
them work.
edition?
3
Right?
3 editions.
That's about it.
That's on the
You know,
that's
well,
on
it's- but
the
shouldn't be that hard
reading
to
list
prepare.
for the
Any
recommended
decent
reading list from
Typewriter
grade 5 to
repair
12.
person, if they exist, should be
yeah, it
able
is.
to.
Because I talk
make
about
one of
being a
those
teacher,
things work
and so
again,
they thought it
because
was
it's
good
just
for
gonna
kids
be
to read
something
because
mechanical.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
it teaches kids that
gee,
teachers are real people. That was their take on it.
The
Our board or
integrated
both
circuit
boards?
is not working and you
The
can't
Alberta,
get a needle or
um,
something. No,
Alberta
it's
board.
part,
Alberta
it's not
board.
that's broken.
Exactly.
Replace it, you know.
My board actually,
Nothing
I
else you
think,
can use.
does their best to
Hopefully
not
the
notice.
6 that he has, they're not all the same.
And I don't know if that's out
problem.
of respect or
Right.
They can
like,
be parts machines.
For each
Concern.
other, yeah.
Oliver was born when I met you.
The typewriter place I used to take our typewriters to, we used to be right by your house, actually, just off of 19th, and I saw it's not there anymore. So that's another thing we have lots of.
yeah, we have 3 or 4 typewriters.
I'm sure there's somebody in town.
They're still
because there are
around.
people that are fanatic collectors of
Definitely,
typewriters.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, you got to have it working. you
Yeah.
know.
Exactly.
It's not.
We've been going to your London Drugs quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Jess started shooting 35, and that's where we prefer to
Drop the film off.
get our film
That's where
developed.
they developed there, eh? No, I didn't
No, they mail it out, but what we
Oh.
like about it, what did we like about it?
Well, they said that we could do,
You
because I
thought they
have
were gonna
half
come back?
frame.
Yeah.
I have half frame film, and they said, "Oh yeah, that's not a problem." But they thought
Half frame is what, 2 1/4 by 2 1/4?
it's it's kind of like split screen almost. So it's like, but it's not. Okay, I don't know how to explain
It
it.
didn't come half
Instead
frame.
of it didn't come half frame. So instead of having 36 film camera exposures. I have
You
72.
said it's 72.
But
Okay.
and instead of having what I thought was I was taking photos in like pairs, like I'd be doing like one and then like a further, like a panoramic or like
Mhm.
something like connected. But then it was like they just come out as 72 photos. So there is one that I want to look into because I also have some black and white film that I'd like to develop. And I think it's neat film. And they said she might be able to do the development of the split screen,
Okay.
like half frame film.
Yeah, or VizTech. But the problem is George Brickman own VizTech?
I have no
Because
idea.
I can't stand George Brickman. I don't give him any money.
George Brickman.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. If you really despise someone and they're the only game in town.
That's really funny. Good old George. Okay, I'm gonna stop this thing so I can start a new one. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, joining us. Come find us at 9:00 for the auction. Thank you, Zach, and thank you, Justin. Thank you.
Do you have a ruler nearby?
Always. There's always.
It's not mine. It's
Do you
not
see a ruler?
I have a ruler here.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
thanks. Perfect.
You're welcome.
That's perfect.
Thanks.
You're welcome. It's somewhere.